Vitality is our ability to have spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical bliss. Some call it paradise. We call it a game.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So today I'm talking about why Black women need to divest. And you might be thinking, Crimson Cure, I thought you had a problem with divestment and all that kind of stuff. I do. But this video isn't really for the so-called divestors. They call themselves not liking Black men and not liking and leaving behind, and they're gonna break the shackles of all of that foolishness. I'm not talking to them. This video, I'm talking to my sisters, my lioness sisters, the ones who are already feminine and not in the lost value system, and the ones who are already on the path of the 10 life values and getting their life together, the sisters that want to be, the sisters that are finally waking up. And I'm not talking about that fake version of being woke where you're still lost in the lost value system and think you're somehow enlightened. I mean the actual, let me live my life in a way that is not governed by the lost cause / lost value system, and let me live my life in a way that is on par with excellence, which is under the 10 life values. I'm talking to these sisters. I'm talking to the ones who need to separate, because this is what I'm really talking about today in terms of divestment. I'm talking about separation. I'm talking about a lot of these women that I really discuss on my channel when I'm really going in on the gynocracy and I'm going in on hyenas. These women are toast. And I need the rest of my subscribership within the sound of my voice to understand that. I'm bringing out the pathology so we can see it. I examine the pathology in the way that I do, in the in-depth way that I do, so that we can all be on one accord as to what the problems are, and so that we can also be on one accord about what the solutions are. These are the women that are past the point of correction. So you'll hear some people say in this space that our people are lost cause, or our women are, they're gone. It's apropos to say that they're lost cause, right? They're too far gone. We can't get them back. There's truth in that. The truth about that is that the women who are like the woman that I talked about from the Kevin Samuels show, and you can watch that live stream right here. The women that I discuss, these gynocrats, they are beyond the pale. They are beyond the scope of help. These women are gone. These women, you can stick a fork in these women because they're done. You can zip up the body bag because they got a tag on their toe. Okay, these women are out of there. But I'm talking to the women who aren't. It is now time to separate the wheat from the tares. Okay? It is time to make that separation. Because if we don't make that separation, we're going to go down with the ship. The Titanic has already taken on water. Okay? There's no going back. There's no saving it. We're in the middle of the North Atlantic, in the middle of the night, and we out of here. Only some of us getting on these lifeboats. And it needs to be the women who have already seen the light or who are trying to get there. So what should we be divesting away from? We need to be divested away from the dysfunction. Set ourselves apart from the dysfunction that we were taught, the dysfunction that we have seen, the dysfunction that we have placed inside of ourselves or accepted inside of ourselves due to not knowing no better and all of that type of stuff. We may have grown up under the lost value system, which most of us did. But as grown women, we are now responsible for ourselves. We are responsible for not remaining in the lost value system, especially when the knowledge has come to you. Especially when there are channels like mine, there are other channels like Danica, other channels like Chantel, other channels in this space that are directed at women by women who are talking about this gynocentric construct and how destructive it is, has been, and will continue to be to us as a group of women and to us as a people all together. And it's beyond time. It's way past time for women who understand the problem of the lost cause, who understand the problem of feminism, who have understood even the problem of the so-called alphabet community, who have understood the issues that plague so-called Blackistan, that the other so-called, the real divestors say they leave in Blackistan. And when they say they leave in Blackistan, what they call themselves doing is leaving all of the dysfunction that Black people call a culture. The only difference between them and who I'm talking to today is that it's women like them that perpetuated and caused all of the dysfunction and all of the wayward action and behavior that makes Blackistan exist. And then now they're just trying to remove themselves from all of the fallout and the outcomes because it's an ugly situation now. It's ugly. The groundwork that was laid is ugly. The landscape is ugly. It's been torn apart. It's been burnt up. It's been stripped down. It's ugly. And it is ugly. But the women who helped create it and help perpetuate all of the ills and the lost value system thinking that consists of Blackistan need to stay in it. They actually can't divest away from it because they've been part of the problem. Nobody wants them. But we haven't been part of the problem. But silence is agreement also. So if we're not part of the problem, we need to make sure we're part of the solution loudly and clearly, whether you have a public platform like the Crimson Cure or you don't, and the only platform you got is your personal life, then you need to be responsible for divesting away from the dysfunction, from the plantation thinking, from dreams that Zaddy is going to come save you somehow and rescue you like a so-called white knight. Right? To leave behind thought culture, black male misandry, the alphabet community and all of its waywardness, so-called wokeness, the single parenthood, single mama trap, the creating of broken homes and families and broken children who grow up to be broken adults. Divest away from the echo chamber of lies that would have you steeped in the real mammyism. Let's talk about the real mammies. What is a mammy? See, these hyenas would have you think that trying to come out of the lost value system where we don't deal in black male misandry, where we don't deal in women fulfilling this masculine role that nobody asked her to fulfill. When we are not dealing in that, they call us mammies. Interestingly enough, the mammy was the black woman that protected the power structure at all costs, even to the cost of herself, the cost of her man, and the cost of her children. That's the lost cause all day. She's actually a part of that lost cause. Remember when I was talking about the lost cause, I was one of the tenets of the myth of lost cause culture was that the slave was content in his slavery. And that is what a mammy is. A mammy is content in her slavery. She's content with Zaddy. She's content living under the plantation thinking. She's content with the gynocracy. She's content with the destruction of her womanhood. She's content with the destruction of her man. She's content with the destruction of her children. She's content with the destruction of her community and her household. That's a man. She's content with Blackistan. She loved it. She would never leave it. She would protect it and its tenants at all costs, even to her death. Right? What else do we divest away from? Treating our children like pawns and paychecks. Treat men like wallets and dildos. Start treating your children like you wanted them to be here. Start treating men like you want them in your life when we know you do. And trying to act like you don't. Start treating yourself like you love yourself and stop hating yourself so intensely. I'm talking to my sister. In short, what I'm saying is we have to make that separation, because sisters, if we don't make that separation, no one will be able to make it for us. Commiserating with your sister, trying to see and empathize with these hyenas will get you caught up. Trying to reach out, trying to help her when she don't want to be helped. Covering for her when she's surviving the way she is under your covering. Because you trying to be a sister to a woman that would never be a sister to you. Treating her like a victim when she's a volunteer. This type of behavior, trying to have sisterhood with a hyena, you can't do it. You cannot straddle the fence. That's the real divestment. Away from the lost value system. That's divestment. That's real divestment. Yeah, that's right. I'm taking these terms and I'm using them differently. See, over here, we don't listen and live in this fantasy world instilled in us by slave masters of the past. We're not enslaved and shackled mentally. We're not enslaved and shackled emotionally. We're not dealing in an enslaved value system, one that was given to us in order to keep us in plantation thinking. Real women, since women like to talk about what real men do, real women have an actual value system that's worth something. Real women in the 10 life values. Real women get their spiritual selves together all the way down that list to their wealth. That's what real women do. And we don't allow women who live in the lost value system to speak for us. We don't allow them the loudest voices. We don't allow them the microphone. They can't get up on stage. We ain't centering the spotlight. We ain't giving them no awards. We ain't congratulating them for being hyenas and gynocrats that have literally participated in the destruction of the Black community. Literally, willingly, and gladly. And then want to call themselves after everything get too dirty. Now they don't want to touch it. Now they want to divest. Knock it off. Draw the line. Not in the sand. Chisel it in stone. Try to perpetuate the tenets of the 10 life values. Live it yourself. Try to give it to the women around you. If they want to take it, good. If they don't want to take it, move on. Move on. Easier said than done in some cases, but must be done. or you go down with the ship. Stay on the Titanic and sink. Only two choices. Lionesses, we got one or two choices. You either gonna be in Pride Rock or you gonna go to the boneyard. You either gonna get in one of these lifeboats or you gonna stay on the Titanic and sink. Your choice. But if you're a real woman, if you're a real lioness, you know what you got to do. And you know how to do it. Sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I am your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites. Hey, guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.